Hey, so we recorded a bunch of modcasts and they were not able to be up in time. So you're about to see a whole bunch of modcasts come up in a short span of time. They're going to be talking about a lot of old stuff, unfortunately, but I still think that they're fun enough and entertaining enough for you guys to listen to. So if you want to skip it, hey, I understand if you don't want to hear old stuff, but still think it's cool to release them now. So enjoy. Hello and welcome to the Modcast. I'm here with Zenrut,
Hey,
Coenl,
Hey guys.
and that's it. Toast is somewhere else, and Penta literally did not care. So we're here for you.
he didn't care so much that he didn't even come on the show.
Yeah, that's alright, because we have Coenl back. We don't need
Yeah,
Penta.
it's good to be here.
It's good to have you back.
Thanks, guys.
Alright, so now that we got, oh, excuse me. Now that we've got Coenl here, let's talk about global first, because God knows that's where we need his expertise the most.
It's true.
So, the Beerus banner got revealed, or leaked, or on DBZ Space or something. I don't remember exactly where it came out, but it got shown. And they changed the units that were in it, because in Japan it was Beerus, Full Power Frieza, and Gogeta. Everyone wanted it, because those were really good. Now it's Beerus, Ultimate Gohan, and Cell.
Real
Yeah,
winners.
it got
Yeah.
ugly,
It got real ugly real fast.
which I guess makes everyone's decision a lot easier. If nothing else, I think that banner would be tempting, even with Vegito potentially right around the corner for us. I think that's a tempting banner for people with two, um, you know, sort of meta characters right now with Gogeta and Full Power Frieza on there. And Beerus is good, if not spectacular, at this point in global. But making it Cell and Gohan, none of those guys are must-haves. Cell isn't useless yet, but he's getting there. I have Cell, and he used to be really useful for sort of nuking super strikes. And honestly, I just take the freebie GT Goku now. He links better. He does enough damage, and that's about the only place you need nuking anymore. Is on those super strikes. So I almost feel like even Cell right now in global is sort of an obsolete unit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't run him, but I have Cell in Japan. I got him recently when I got like every tech unit in the game in one banner. And I tried finding a place to use him, and I just can't do it. I can't. It's impossible to get him to do anything contributory without doing a ton of work.
I think he in Japan he could work on monotech, but there's so many other units that I'd put above him. He's probably what 10th, 11th, 12th on that list of useful units. He kind of has to have Golden Frieza paired with him to be any good, because that's the only person he gets any sort of key from. So yeah, even on Japan he's not
I mean, his passive is inconsistent as all holy hell. I mean,
right.
I can't
Right.
guarantee, like, because LR Goku on monotech is the one that needs all the orbs, so you can't guarantee Cell any orbs unless you run a second orb changer. But the second orb changer is Super Saiyan Blue Goku, which is going to mess up Golden Frieza linking with him. It's a mess.
Yeah, he just doesn't have a place. Then and Gohan is fine. And he will be actually probably more useful once sorry, who's the end
Buhan.
god Buhan, thank you, comes around. But right now he doesn't really have a place in global meta. I certainly don't think he's worth chasing. And Beerus is exactly the same way. He's fine, but nothing spectacular.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you were trying to justify pulling for these guys because you really want one of them, all of them come out again really soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost arguable that the best meta unit on that banner now is that Int Goku, and again, he's going to be everywhere because he's not a Dokkan Fest character, so
Yeah, he'll
you
be
could pull him
everywhere.
anytime.
Gohan will be in the Buhan banner,
Right.
so you don't have to worry about never seeing Gohan again. And Cell is going to be in the Gotenks banner if for some reason you really still want Cell.
Yeah.
So
You know,
I feel like you wait a month and a half and pull.
that's kind of the way it is. I will say that a lot of people before I want to say Golden Frieza showed up, they were using Cell as kind of like a tank, since he gets attack and defense from all the orbs. And I guess that for one moment, something weird just happened.
What happened?
there was like a large hit of static.
Yeah, I got it too. I don't know where it came from.
Oh, I didn't even hear it.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Right. Let me go back. Okay, one moment. Back to my point. Uh, I want to say he just ended up being like the best defense option Tech had for a while until like someone like Golden Frieza showed up and just got crazy powerful with his defense.
Yeah, and he's still. I mean, in global right now, he's a good defense unit, but kind of what Zenrot was saying, you kind of have to plan around him to make him useful, right? Because he needs a good chunk of tech orbs to really tank anything or hit hard.
And his links certainly don't help with anything.
No.
I mean, if you get 10 orbs with Cell, his defense is still lower than LR Goku's defense is. So, I mean, how many orbs do you really need to get before he starts becoming a tank, you know?
He makes you work for it.
That's true.
Yeah, again, at least this banner just kind of lets you sit and wait. That's kind of the game with global sometimes. Is the good thing is you know what's coming. The bad thing is you kind of just have to sit still. Nothing's ever surprising or exciting. So we're kind of in a hold pattern right now. Everyone's just kind of gathering stones, waiting for LR Goku and Vegito to show up, and then we will all cry when we don't get him in the hundreds of stones we saved.
Gogeta.
Yeah, you know, I don't play global like as my main game, so it's really easy for me to just ignore everything that happens and wait for good banners. But I wonder, like, as a global main, do you ever get annoyed when it's like a month and a half to a banner that you can't miss, and they're still releasing shit like, oh my god, the Grade 8 banner, you have to pull right now. Like,
I think the most annoying thing, I mean, me personally, so I saved up all these stones for Gogeta for 1 year, and then I burned through most of them. I didn't use all of them just because I don't like having no stones left for me. And I'm sort of like pseudo free to play. I mostly don't pay, but I get the occasional discount, stones. And so the annoying thing is for a global person that's really sort of stone conscious is Gogeta came out, you didn't get him. Vegito came out in Japan at the same time, and so now it's 6 months of conserving, right? Like it's literally like I still pull on like discount banners and stuff like that. Like I did the 40 stone Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta banner because I liked him as a unit. He still has some utility even in Japan at this day. I know his fights get longer. He's not as useful, but he would be a really good unit for me for a while. So I pulled on that banner. But I mean, other than that, it really is just sitting around, kind of. Especially me, I have Madge and Vegeta already. I don't really need an AOE, so those two up banners aren't super important for me. So it's a lot of sitting around and just kind of, I mean, not twiddling your thumbs, but it's tough in a game like this to ignore banner after banner.
It's kind of like fishing. It's what you're just kind of putting out your line and waiting for the right moment for something to bite, and then either you get a really nice fish or you get nothing and you get angry and waste your time.
Right, and I think it's good if you're not really, you don't really want to spend a lot of money. I think global is a nice place to be because it allows you to plan ahead, but at the same time you have to be super patient. It requires a sort of willpower that I guess the Japanese version doesn't require.
Yeah, I
can see that.
Yeah.
So speaking of willpower, the mono gods are coming, right?
Yeah.
And I know that the general consensus, whenever someone says, do I summon now, obviously everyone says no. Mm-hmm. But everyone also says, save all your stones for Super Vegito, which I kind of think isn't the best advice ever to just give. Because Super Vegito only works better than the other one. Well, maybe not in Vegito's case because he's super broken. But in general, the mono gods work better depending on which box you have. Like, just because there's a hierarchy where Vegeta is the best one, doesn't necessarily mean that he's well suited for your box and will do better than Gotenks or Buhan in your box will.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point. I think the reason people say that, it's twofold, right? That's the only banner that Japan's had so far that has two gods on it. Granted, one of those is the worst one, but it's the only one with two, and it's the discount. So you're getting, sort of
a deal.
Yeah, you get a deal that you don't get on the other ones. And also, that one, at least in Japan, had a slightly higher rate than the subsequent banners have had. So you get sort of those 3 built-in advantages. And I think that's why a lot. And again, Vegito is so broken. You can sort of make, as long as you have decent agility units behind him, a couple of shocking speeds, maybe 1 or 2 other utility units if you need that, you'll survive, right? You can get through all the rest of the content, and you can sort of try to pull more agility stuff as it goes, because you'll get that you'll get the agility only banner, those max agility banners later. I don't think it's a bad strategy. I think if I look at my box, I have great agility units and nothing with physical. So that 100% means, by the way, I'm going to pull physical Brawly because I don't have a box at all that complements him, and I really don't need him right now, because I don't know that he'd be my best leader, obviously, but I would have a tough time building a team around him at this point that's really functionally useful. Meanwhile, I have great agility units. I think someone that's stacked in tech or int specifically could maybe think about waiting, but you also have to realize you're going to get less for your money and have a worse chance of pulling what you want on those subsequent banners.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
I will also say that there is documented showcasing that at least for these before Super Vegito came out, that it was super possible to beat every single event with the worst of agility units. That was kind of why that was the proof we had to use to show how great Super Vegito was. And obviously I think a lot of people are still kind of in that mindset. So we also did not expect for every single god unit to come out by the time Global got Super Vegito.
Right.
So it's kind of a mixture of people going wait for Super Vegito, but then kind of forgetting that, oh yeah, there was kind of this ridiculous release schedule right afterwards.
Yeah, you don't have long to wait. I mean, if you really wanted to wait on, Gotenks, that's not a long wait. Did he come before or after Kaioken?
Before Kaioken came out, like halfway through Gotenks' event. They were running at the same time.
Okay, that's right. And Gotenks was what, 2 or 3 weeks after?
2 weeks after Vegito ended.
Yeah. So I mean, if you've got a stacked tech team and you want to wait for Gotenks, you don't have long to wait. I mean, the only events you're just skipping one banner basically at that point.
And with Global potentially skipping super stuff, they might be coming much sooner than we expected.
I really hope Global doesn't have to skip super stuff, because that means there's like no content left for them after this. Because we got GT, so we have the apes at some point, probably between now and when Vegito comes, and then that's it, because they couldn't do the 30th anniversary stuff, or at least they'd have to cut off the last few
That's a rough one.
stages of it. They'd maybe be able to do the first 25 stages of that, if they're not allowed to do anything super, and then the only other story event left is super. So yeah, it would put a hole. The only reason I think they will just do it is because it's such a big hole in their content if they don't.
Yeah.
Well, it's in Xenoverse 2 also.
Right.
That's the other thing, is that I thought that they weren't doing it out of, we're going to wait till Super's out, but now Xenoverse 2 is literally billing itself with like, oh, Goku Black pre-order. And it's like, there's really no reason for you to fight any spoilers when the next Dragon Ball Z game is just saying like, here's a villain from deep within Super. And if you...
Yeah. Goku Black is the pre-order bonus, and then they already revealed the first DLC package is gonna have Kaba and Frost.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I
they clearly don't care.
See Super getting skipped.
No, you're just gonna. If you're still holding out for waiting for that dub, you may as well just see all these weird ass characters, and then later learn about what's their deal. Learn later on what a Kaba is, what a whatever the fat version of the Beerus is. This Winnie the Pooh looking guy, a robot, and this thing that's clearly not Frieza.
A robot with very, very gentle feelings.
Yes, he is. He dreams of electric sheep, I'm sure.
But we were talking about the schedule and how it makes sense to pull on Vegito anyway because you're going to get more for your stones. You're going to get 4 pulls for the price of 3 and that kind of stuff. But because I see a lot of people in Global, I think, I have no numbers to back this up. I'm just assuming based on subreddit traffic, that Global in general prefers to save over a purchase. And the content schedule coming out soon is not very friendly to that.
No, it's
if
very
you're
ugly.
if you're a free-to-play player who's saving stones specifically for these God releases, you pretty much are going to get one shot.
You've got to pick one. Yeah,
gotta
unless
pick
you
the
get
one that you
super
want.
lucky, right? I mean,
Oh,
maybe
sure.
you're the one guy who gets Super Vegito on his second multi or whatever,
That was me. I did that.
then yeah, and then you can take all those stones you saved and pick another god if you want. Or by then, maybe the Rainbow God is out on Japan already, and we're all just in the save for the next thing mode again. But yeah, I agree. I feel like you've got to pick your poison there. And you got to pick the one you really want. Whether it's the box you have or the character you just really want, because he's your guy. I know there's some people who just love super saving 3 Go tanks, so maybe they just want to save because they love him. But yeah, it's kind of a one-shot deal. Like, I would not start pulling on the Super Vegito banner expecting to be able to pull on the Omega banner 2 months later, because you're not going to get any stones between now and then. Like, that's it.
Yeah, there's no events. There's hardly any gifts.
There's barely
Yeah.
any deals even. I want to say there's been maybe like 3 or 4 sales at
I think
best.
the only sale was Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken had a sale.
Yeah,
But that's because he came out during Gotenks.
yeah, and then there was
And then
one
Buhan
other.
had a sale.
There you go. And yeah, it's real rough. And the rougher thing is gonna be is that I'm totally dreading when they're totally gonna release a banner that has 2 gods in it that had higher rates than when the other gods were by themselves, and I'm just gonna look at it and be extremely sad
Yep.
because
It's only a matter of time.
yeah,
Yeah, it is. I mean, I assume if and when they do a rainbow, you'll get something like that, where you'll get the rainbow and then potentially several other gods in the same banner at that point.
it's a wild 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, the only nice thing about the way they're doing it, I mean, literally the only nice thing is that they've been color coordinating these banners. So, you're pulling on the tech banner, you're going to get cards that are potentially useful to the god you're trying to pull at that time.
Right.
Yeah, that's nice.
What's not nice is everything else they've been doing with this release schedule.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, to put it in perspective, if Vegito, let's say Vegito comes out December 1st, because that's when I'm kind of thinking he's going to come out.
Yeah, that seems about right. I think they have about
Omega
a month more
Shenron
they
would
could
be,
fill.
what, February 15th?
Yeah, around the time.
That's crazy.
Roughly mid-February? And everything else would have come out in between that.
Yeah, and you're not
I
gonna
mean,
have.
that's like 5 Dokkan Fests.
Yeah.
It's insane. The pace of that is just insane. But they don't have anything else to bring out, right? I mean, it's not like they don't have anything else they could put in between them to try to space that out on global, like any more than they did Japan.
They don't even
I mean,
have
you
world
got-
tournaments because Japan
Right.
has forgotten about world tournaments at this point. After
Yeah, they want to implement that new system, and they're just taking forever to do it, and they don't want to run another tournament until it's done.
yeah. So
When was the last? How big a gap has it been for you guys?
Was the last tournament that Trunks?
yeah, that world
It was
tournament
Trunks. Yeah.
That was like August.
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, there's only 2 tournaments for global left to do before they're just completely caught up.
Yeah.
They only have the it's just Ultimate Gohan and the Trunks one left.
Who knew
And
that?
I mean, potentially they could be doing that, one of those 2 in a week and a half, 2 weeks. I guess probably 2 weeks with Beerus coming.
yeah.
Probably, yeah. It'll probably be after beers.
Man, imagine if they actually caught up in world tournaments and the Japan and global ones just ended up happening at the same time now. That would really kill a good number of people.
It would be fine for, I think everyone who just picks one version would love that, because it would make life a little easier.
It would be brutal for the people who play both, though.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
it would be impossible.
Yeah, the ending date of the last Japanese World Tournament was August 28th.
Yeah, that's wow. So
Man.
pretty almost 2 months now. You're getting close to 2 months.
Yeah, it'll be 2 months in like a week.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is that I actually used World Tournaments because I never went hard on them because I hated everything about them. Was I always used it for those beginning stones because they always dropped a
Yeah.
good number of stones in there.
You could get like 20 stones without really spending any stones, even over in Japan over like a 3-day span.
Yeah, and that kind of sucks not having those those stones for you
Right.
anymore.
I mean, that's almost half a multi a month you're getting out of that.
Yeah, very weird.
All right, so let's switch gears. Let's hop to the Japanese version for a little bit. We finally got the rebirths, the leftover rebirths from the vote that they just, I guess, remembered that they still needed to do at some point.
It certainly seems like they were an afterthought.
Right?
Kind
Yeah.
of.
I mean, they're out and they're fine. I mean, none of them are like.
I would actively say that Vegeta is kind of not okay.
Yeah, Vegeta's pretty bad.
Yeah, the others.
Surprise.
Gohan is good, like with a question mark at the end of it, because I think he's not bad.
No,
I mean, he's 90% on Super. That's one of the strongest on Super passives in the game. I think the only ones that are stronger are Frieza, Gotenks, and Super Saiyan Blue Goku.
Yeah, that's nice. But there's also like they gave him like the monkey's paw, where he has 90%, but also his key multiplier did not change at all. And
Oh, that's right, it didn't.
so yes, he gets 90% boost, but it turns out that it's not actually that much of an improvement.
God, his key multiplier is still 130%.
No,
That sucks.
that's a real bummer, especially because there's no reason for him to have it at that. If they were gonna raise everything else by just 10%, why couldn't they just raise the key multiplier by another 10?
Yeah, that's rough. And strangely enough, Vegeta does not have 140% either.
No.
According to DBZ Space, he has 138%.
Of course, just a little worse.
Just a little
than he
worse.
should be.
Yeah.
Oh god, that Vegeta. It's
It really.
I mean, the new. Go ahead.
I think people just got a little spoiled with rebirths because a couple of them were so good, right? But for the most part, they've kind of been like this, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, the very first batch of rebirths, I have the whole list up right now, was Goku, Vegeta, and Piccolo, the originals, which all suck. They're awful.
They were all kind of like this. They were just marginal.
I like
They're-
Piccolo.
Well, you like Piccolo. But you
I
ain't about to
could,
tell me Piccolo's
he's not amazing. He's the only defender physical has.
He's.
Well, that's true, but
I don't know if he's necessary in a physical build, but he is like
No.
the one few utility.
No, I like him a lot, but yeah, he's not super useful even in the context of a Broly team.
so then after him was Majin Vegeta and Fat Boo. And Fat Boo is completely unredeemable garbage. But Majin Vegeta's great.
Yeah, they completely changed that. They like sacrificed that Boo from being.
Oh, sorry,
okay.
I actually went out of order.
Oh, you did? Who was
We
good?
had Teen Gohan and Future Trunks first.
Oh,
Res-
and
and-
they were actually pretty decent. I mean,
respectable.
upgrades. Yeah.
Yeah, especially at the time they came out. I would argue you could still use one of them in a Buhan team if you were desperate, you know?
Yeah, that's
It's not the end of the world.
I still use that teen into Gohan every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the first good one, I think, like really good one, like I want him really bad, I think we can all agree is Majin Vegeta.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, just-
Go ahead.
Just because he went AOE. I mean, that's. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, that's the only reason, but still.
right.
Yeah.
That's kind of. I mean, there are some rebirths that are really good without being AOE, but the two best ones are because they went AOE, essentially.
Well, we'll get to that one, because I do think
Okay.
there's one better than the AoEs.
Okay.
But after Majin Vegeta, then I think we went straight to Xeno Trunks, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And he's another AoE that you can fight back and forth as to whether he or Majin is better, but they're both incredible, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, when both things you never thought you'd ever have to say in your lifetime. Like, who do I
Yeah,
think is better, Majin Vegeta or Xeno Trunks? When before these rebirths, that was like a laughing joke that you just kind of made to yourself. And then
yeah.
this,
Majin Vegeta was never like bad, but he was the only over to Flash unit. People were like, well, I could just not have him, and I'll figure something else out.
yeah, he was kind of he definitely fell off hard. Like he entered some hard times and did not age
So then
well.
we jumped into our voters.
Hmm.
And then we had Super Saiyan 2 Tech Goku, which was number one. He was the first one released. And he was pretty cool at the time. Immense multiplier. He was a great World Tournament unit because he supported Broly and Majin Vegeta with no conditionals. And then we got Super Saiyan 2, the other ones, which are both better than him.
Yes,
Like almost right away.
because they give it to all.
They gave it to all, but the Super Saiyan 3 or the Super Saiyan 2 one, his allure was that's so confusing. So I'm talking about three Super Saiyan 2s. The Tech one, his allure was that he had immense damage, but then you find out that really doesn't matter at all until you max his super multiplier.
Yep.
So unless you have just a ton of dupe ones sitting around, you're not doing that. You know?
Yeah, it's tough.
And
to
so he's
justify.
stronger, but who cares? Because he's not actually contributing that much.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the physical one's the best one of the three, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like physical a lot. There's some. I know Toast is a big fan of the agility one, but
The agility one's also good.
yeah, not to say they're bad. This is definitely a case of I have the physical one, therefore I like physical better.
Can you remind me what the physical one does now? Because
He does +2 key and 20% attack to all with no condition.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, and I mean, he's a physical and he's ready for war Super Saiyan, and so I think he slides right into physical teams and he does what he needs them to do. I think he's probably one of the only rebirths that's actually an optimal choice for their team.
Yeah, since Broly runs different from every other God Lead in which he does not have shocking speed.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of ready for war physical units, but I feel like physical's best units just don't share key with one another.
Yeah.
So this guy mitigates that.
Yeah, that definitely helps. Definitely.
And then we have the black sheep of the rebirth, who I think is the best rebirth and arguably one of the best cards in the game, Turles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I kind of just forgot about him.
Hmm.
I have one, so I will say I was playing in the car coming home from Horror Nights, and I was using Turles to farm the Gohan event, and my brother's like, he looked at my team and he said, "How come you don't need any key links?" And I said, "Because I have two Turles currently in the team and I don't need key links." And he said, "Damn, I did not know that he was that good." And I was
Yeah,
like,
I
Yeah,
mean, you
and
don't.
he actually hits decent now.
he hits decent.
I mean, if you farm
Yeah.
a super, which
I
you should
did.
absolutely do.
Yeah, I did, and he hits like a brick house. And the funny thing is that he's probably the most damaging stunner with a decent rate of stun.
Oh yeah,
If
absolutely.
you're talking 50% or higher, then definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of like the 50%ers, he's the only one that hits
Not saying
hard at all.
Yeah, the ones that that stun and also aren't like small chance to stun or something, like actual decent, like you use him for his stunning.
Yeah, like a unit used specifically to be a stunner. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, very powerful stunner unit, and I would definitely think that he's one of the best rebirths. That was
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that was taking
Yeah.
a card that was good in his heyday, and then everyone was like, he's fallen on hard times, he's not what he used to be. And then that rebirth came out and it was immediately like, this is amazing. This is the dream. This is, you have a unit that can literally, he's basically the jack of all trades, and big fan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
does.
still think he's the best world tournament leader, also, unless they change the way the tournament plays.
Yeah, for now, just because I mean, he does everything, like you said.
Yeah, he's a +3 leader, +3 to everyone. There's no reason not to use him as a leader unless you want to give other people Gogeta.
And he
Basically.
links with two of the AoE cards that you're probably most likely to use.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is very true.
So we can start closing out our road. So we can stop fanboying over Turles for a minute.
Yeah, well, this
Uh,
is a shout out to Animal.
yeah, shout out to Aminal Cracker. If only he were here.
He would do all 11. All right, who came after Turles? Who followed him
Well,
up?
I'm not 100% sure that this is in order because we might have gone out of order, but
Fair enough.
I think AGL and Physical Super Saiyan 2 Goku actually came after Turles did,
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough.
but I might as well talk about them while we were talking about the Tech Goku.
Yeah.
We had Tech Future Gohan. He's in a
Yeah.
weird spot because everyone hates him,
Yeah.
and I don't think he's garbage, but I don't think he's great.
No.
I think he was one of those ones that people were really thinking would become a legitimate, mono team option, and he didn't.
Yeah, he's sort of a filler card.
Yeah. He's one of those
He got
I'll just say he's one of the ones when you're building for the optimal tech team, you have him in it just because like he's not optimal but he's still really good, and until you get those other cards, he'll do.
yeah, exactly. I mean, he got some weird passive that was like, what was it? 70% attack and defense if his HP is under 80%,
Yeah, I think that's it.
which is weird. And his defense is only 4,000. So I mean, he'll get to what, like 6,000 defense, 7,000.
Yeah, not,
So it's not like he's tanking anything. So who cares? His super went up from huge to extreme, which is actually good. It's actually kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Since he's a Kaioken mechanic super, it's nice when those can actually do damage and build up at the same time.
Right.
But we've covered 100 times why Kaioken is no good. So
Yeah. They need a Kaioken mechanic rebirth to make it better.
yeah, they really do. And then after him, I think he might be the only vote one we haven't talked about because he went out of order. Oh, well, other than the new ones that just came out.
Yeah.
Then we had the random, nobody ever asked for these, Fusion rebirths.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I was asking for him because I needed
Yeah, I know
reason.
you were.
I needed
I know you were.
I needed justification for to continue using Broadpan, and I got it.
It also feels like that was just a justification to be able to bring that banner back without adding any new cards to it.
God, I know, they didn't release a single new card in the guaranteed. Yeah, that sucked.
I know. We could finally have gotten that Beerus and Whis fusion together. Now we're gonna
That
have
would
Weirus.
yeah,
really
Whirus.
weird looking.
Really weird looking, but and they also brought back those kids, but they're not rebirths, so who cares about them? But yeah, that was a very weird rebirths to give, and to be fair, all of those they made them better. They weren't.
Yeah, I mean, they're all good.
They were already kind of good to begin with, except for Pandel, and now Pandel's. I wish I had her and a Buhan, and I would gladly test her out, but at question mark over
She's
her.
good. She's definitely good.
Okay. Fair, yeah.
And actually, with all the with Pandel coming out, she's an attack support, which not a lot of people use.
Yeah.
Except like for Vegito. I guess more people use it now with Turles and the Gokus, the two rebirth Gokus that do it. But before, not a lot of people touched on it, so not a lot of people gave it credit yet.
Oh.
But Pandel gives 30% to everyone with no condition, which on a team like Int, that brings a lot of toolbox cards and not a whole lot of damaging cards,
Oh.
that's pretty big.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's nice of her. It's a nice
And then you've
support.
got her and you've got Turles, both, which is going to be part of my argument as to why this Gohan is arguably, despite being incredibly vanilla, at least a good card.
This is true. You're right. I guess that rebirth link is pretty useful when a lot of the people you would use in a team are rebirths.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he links for at least one key, Gohan, I mean.
Yeah.
With Ultimate Gohan, Ape Shugesh, if you even remotely care about that at all in any way.
Yeah.
And
I
then
do.
I believe I believe with Super Saiyan, well, he's a Super Saiyan, so he gets Golden Warrior with everyone. And then he's got Rebirth with Pandel and Turles, and he's also got that Saiyan Blood Link, which is what he links with Ultimate Gohan with. Pandel has that too, so he gets 3 key with Pandel.
Yeah.
Uh, and then Golden Warrior, I mean, you've got that Trunks, the Stunner Goku. You've got, if you choose to use the 2 rebirths, they both link with him for at least 3. And then that Super Saiyan Gotenks that comes from the Trunks, the Kid Trunks,
Yes.
in the Gotenks event, he links with him too. And that's a lot of ink cards. So he may not link with like Janemba, but I don't really think he needs to.
Yeah. You can still facilitate a pretty good team with him in it.
Yeah,
And
because like none of
Is
them
he
link with
Int's
Buhan.
hardest hitter at this point?
Not
And
counting,
besides Buhan, I
yeah,
guess.
besides Buhan.
Yeah, besides Buhan,
I
I
actually
think that's probably going to be dependent on Vegito or Mystic Gohan.
I also think that they maybe the last time I saw I can't verify it, but I did see Zahal say that World Tournament Trunks hits harder than him somehow, which I don't know how.
Well, his passive is start of the turn, so his links get applied differently.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Well, I don't think he said harder. I think he said he hits almost as hard.
Almost as hard. Oh, that makes more sense.
I mean, he has 200 less attack. His attack is only 60%, but it's at the start of the turn.
Uh-huh.
But he really shouldn't be hitting harder than Gohan. There's really no way that's going to work out. But he might do close to as much damage.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so for all intents and purposes, not counting Buhan, he might be their hardest hitter.
Yeah, or there's Vegito, who is dependent on the number of orbs that you're going to get. And then there's Ultimate Gohan, which...
Kaioken mechanic.
Yeah.
Sure.
And another rebirth that no one... everyone talks about Brapan as the new rebirth. I guess because she has boobies. I don't know exactly why.
Because she has innocence and links real good with the androids. That's what I care about.
Oh, fair enough. And she's not bad. She's fine. She's one of the better key support cards. Over 30%, 3 keys, just flat out. You don't have to play around her passive.
Yeah.
You could argue that either one of the other 2 are better than her.
Yeah.
If you want to play around the passive.
This is true.
But, like, if you want to play around the 50% for starter Goku, he's better than her. If you want to play around the 99% for SSJ2 Goku, he's better than her. But she's the best one if you don't want to have to do it. If you want to be able to play your game the way you want to play it and still get the key, she's the one that you want.
Yeah. With the rebirth, I've gone from missing her passive I think it was eventually getting to every other turn to now, like, I basically have it active throughout the entire fight. Like,
yeah,
so
50%, I mean, even with Super Vegito, you really can't maintain that unless you go out of your way to do it.
No, having used Brapan pre-Dokkan, it can be... obviously, during your regular fights, it's real easy, but with some of the Dokkan festivals currently going on, they do hit pretty hard, and unless you're rocking, like, 2 Super Vegitos and a Golden Frieza, you're going to be taking hits.
Yeah, I mean, the Golden Frieza Dokkan event, I used Vegito to beat that, and I think I took supers for like 100,000 damage.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
that
so
one.
I mean, you're out of luck already if you get hit by that.
Yeah.
But someone that doesn't get a whole lot of love for some reason, despite arguably being... Well, he's easily the best rebirth that's not a support card, is Karoli.
Yeah. I want to say a lot of this might come down to just before adult Gotenks came out. So when he came back with a rebirth that basically I think made him arguably better, people kind of just wanted to ignore him.
I can see it.
Because they were like, we just got this really good card, and now this old one is better, but the reason we wanted him was because he was better than Karoli. We're kind of angry. And
well, yeah, it's hard to say though, because Gotenks has better links, and that's not really up for discussion. Karoli's links kind of suck.
This is true. Besides Fusion,
he's got Rebirth, he's got Fusion Fighter, and then he has a bunch of weird ones. Like I think he's got Saiyan Blood, which is okay.
He's got all the Broly Aftermath. He did not get
he's got like the
Berserker.
Yeah, God, the HP 50% under link.
Yes. And
he's got Saiyan Warrior Race, the link that no one cares about.
Yeah. That's like the plus 400 attack or whatever.
700, but still.
Still bad.
It's not any better than 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
The difference is that he hits harder, and he does, because 80% at the start of the turn is better than 80% at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
But he does not have Ready for War, which Gotenks does have. He does not have Kamehameha, which Gotenks does have.
Yeah. And
I'm not even sure. Does he have Golden Warrior?
I don't think so, because he's technically a villain.
Yeah, he does not have Golden Warrior either.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think adult Gotenks still links a lot better in most monotech builds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely. But the Rebirth was still a really good one.
Yeah, he's still really good. He still hits really hard. I mean, I wouldn't say that either him or Gotenks are particularly better than one another. One hits harder, one synergizes with the team better. It's more about what you need.
Yes. And he has Fusion Warrior, which is which is usually enough to get you by.
Especially for tech. Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't help Janembu, but it certainly helps him a lot.
Well, it would help Janembu if Janembu's passive wasn't just garbage.
I'll just wait for the Rebirth next month.
I would like that very much.
Wouldn't be surprised at this point.
We need a Chow Man Rebirth.
Oh, I would love a Chow Man Rebirth. I don't know what you do with him. Maybe get rid of the HP requirement, but I guess we'll see in a couple months or so. See what they do.
Get rid of the HP requirement on his super, make him not do as much damage to you, and bump his attack up, and then I'm happy.
Yeah, that would be a good Rebirth. Just more better AoEs.
Yeah, I'm always down for more AoE units for that god-awful World Tournament.
Yeah, and I'm down for any AoE units that makes Broly worse.
Yeah, that too.
So after these fusion guys, then we're back to modern day, right? And we're here with our 3 guys.
So we kind of talked about it. We kind of talked about it with Future Gohan.
Yeah.
You brought it up while we were talking about it. Rebirths seem to have like a defined role in the game now, which is to be very good filler that doesn't make the final roster. Almost always.
Yes. Because
that just seems to be what their role is.
It does seem like that's what their role is. Because again, even though I will gladly defend Broadpan, I can recognize that she does not belong in the perfect agility team. That's just the fact of it. Like I don't think when I think of what the perfect team is, maybe Turles in a perfect intelligence team is maybe the only one who kind of cuts the mustard. Everyone else is kind of iffy.
I would say Turles and Super Saiyan 2 physical Goku.
Well, yeah, okay, that one too. I forgot about Broly. Just like everyone else.
Yeah, just like Bandai did apparently.
Just like Bandai did. But that seems to be their current role, which that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean it's fine.
I think it's good for most people, right? I mean, a lot of people are getting helped out by getting these rebirths, which I think is why there was some pushback on the sub when these last rebirths came out, and some people were disappointed and some people were really upset that they weren't giving them enough credit. I think for people that aren't going to be able to run ideal teams, having one of the top dozen mono cards of that color is really nice, especially when it kind of bumps them up, from a top 20 card to maybe a top 10 card. That's very helpful to some people.
Sure.
Yeah, and especially with when one of them is a free unit, that definitely helps things a lot.
Yeah, I mean he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
I'm annoyed that he's literally. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I have almost no use for him, and I hate the idea of grinding Super Saiyan Goku so much that I'm never gonna get him to SA10. But that doesn't mean that I don't find his I guess I was having tunnel vision at the time of his release, and I was having a very hard time actually seeing any use. And I've seen enough people say well, this is what I use them for, and I look at it and still go well, I'm not going to use that, but I also, put enough money into the game where I'm not starving for a good free unit. And so I go okay, I see the reason why people would use him and why he's good now. It's it's fair enough. It's all good.
Sure. Yeah, I think people get to the point where there's a divide where half the sub does not give even a remote crap about mid-tier cards at all.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely part of that category. I could care less if a card is like, that's pretty decent. Like, it doesn't matter to me at all.
Yeah.
But then you have the other half of the users who are like, if this card is even playable, it is godlike, and I love it. And those sides tend to clash a lot.
Who knew?
Yeah. I think the only thing that I've seen the two sides agree on since the release of this most recent patch of Rebirth is that Vegeta just got boned.
He has his defenders, but yes, he got pretty boned. Not to say that, again, I certainly think that he is the worst thing to Rebirth and is a garbage man of a card, but other people might find him okay, at the very
Well,
least.
it's funny because he's certainly not the worst Rebirth, like,
No.
in terms of,
He's not.
the usefulness of the card.
He's not Majin
Oh,
Buu.
he's not Tech Vegeta.
He's not Tech Vegeta, he's not the banner AGL Goku, he's not Buu, arguably Piccolo. But, like, he's the most disappointing, I think.
Because he had so much potential to be...
He could have been... Why could they not bump him to 80%? Caroli got 80% unconditional at the start of every turn for just any turn, ever. And they couldn't give this Vegeta more than 70%. He got a 10% passive buff, and he got 400 attack points, and that's all he got.
And he still needs 6 key. Which at this point, it's kind of like a lot of people start at 6 key, so I don't see the reason why to even keep the 6 key anymore.
Yeah, why keep the... I guess it's for if people want to try hybridizing their teams with like a Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku kind of lead.
Yeah.
But Strength doesn't even have that.
Not yet.
Not yet. So it's just confusing, like... They bumped Gohan up 10%. They bumped Vegeta up 10%. It feels like they just didn't care anymore. Because all the other rebirths, for the most part, got some stuff that made them unique, and it made them interesting, and it made you want to use them.
Yes.
Like, the extra key and the attack buffs that are given to, like, the new starter Goku, I mean, he's not that original anymore, because he's basically just a garbage version of the physical version.
Yeah.
Which, that kind of annoys me, too, because, like, how lazy do you have to be that you just take an exact card that you already have and make it worse and make it the new rebirth?
He is still just a Super Saiyan 1. So it makes sense.
I guess that's true. They're following the power structure.
Yeah, they're just trying to keep it canon.
And that's why LR Goku exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, LR Super Saiyan 1 Goku.
That's why the strongest Goku Super Saiyan is Super Saiyan 1.
Well, that's a Super Saiyan Goku. That's like Dragon Ball Super's version. That's my headcanon for it.
Alright.
And that's why he's stronger than like almost every other Goku.
It's the only way anything makes sense in this game.
Pretty much. It's just weird to me that, like, they can release some rebirths that are great, and they do things that, even if they're not, like, the best cards in the world, they do things that other cards don't replicate that easily. Like, they gave AoE to Majin Vegeta and Xenotrunks. That cemented them as useful forever.
Yeah.
There's never going to be a time that you look at those two cards and go, I will never touch a team with them. Because you still use Broly, despite the fact that he's garbage.
Yeah, this is true.
Like, an AoE alone is all you need to live in this game. Super Saiyan 2 Gokus, all three of them have different means to be key support, and they're all arguably some of the best key support at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Pandel, she does something for Int that pretty much no one else does. Babidi Boo does it, but he has an HP requirement on his. Pandel doesn't. Turles obviously is a god for some reason. Bandai really likes... I'm just going to go off on a small tangent. Bandai really likes Turles.
I mean, he's the original Goku Black.
Even his World
Goku
Tournament
Brown
card was pretty good, especially for when it came out.
Yeah, the tech one. Have you guys played Xenoverse yet?
Is it Xenoverse 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, the PS4 open beta that's out right now?
Not yet, because I didn't pre-order.
Well, no, it's open. You can just download it for free right now.
Oh, you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Closed one was last week. This weekend is open.
Don't do that later, because we're
Hey,
Turles
Zen,
is playable, and
I'm gonna-
holy... Oh, you're
I'm
going to
cut
pop
you
off?
off because I gotta go.
Alright,
get
no
off.
problem.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Coenl.
Thanks
Later,
for coming
guys.
on.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Later. So anyway, When you play it, Turles is incredible.
Really?
Yeah, he's so good. He has he's got some move. I don't remember what it's called because I played it like 3 times. I don't remember what the names of the moves are.
Okay.
But he shoots a bunch of individual ki blasts. It's one of his special attacks, and the tracking on them is ridiculous. Like, you can descend and try to fly away, and they'll follow you, like pinpoint. It's really hard to avoid it. He has crazy combos. You know how you played Xenoverse 1, right?
I have.
You know when you teleport behind someone that you kind of can turn punch them
Yes.
if they try to teleport and punish you? Turles's, instead of turning and like leaning into a punch like most of the characters do, he turns and leans his body back and kicks at you. So instead of leaning his hurt box forward to risk getting punched out of his counter, he like moves away and kicks.
What?
So that his counter, his little counter spin puts him at less risk than like, because I play a Saiyan just create a character.
Yeah.
And when my guy tries to turn punch, he leans his entire body and face forward first and then punches. Like, Turles is so good.
There has to be someone there who just really likes him.
That's the only thing I can think of. Even in the Xenoverse 2 trailers. Oh, Turles is a main character in the story mode of the game.
What?
Yeah, the story mode is the 2 bad guys from Xenoverse 1, Bat Boobies and Robot Guy?
Yeah. Girl and Robot Man.
Yeah. They recruit Lord Slug and Turles to be like evil versions of you. And they like go back to the past and like mess up events so that it changes the past, then you have to go fight them. But like, Turles is a main character in their hugely build game. All of his Dokkan cards are good. His playable character in Xenoverse 2 is good. Someone in Bandai, like, their life was forever changed by the Tree of Might movie.
I mean, I can understand why. That's the one movie that Goku took time off of Namek to return home, and his friends came back to life for a bit too, and they just had this weird adventure with this giant tree. I don't know, man. Maybe there's someone there who just really likes that ocean dub of Tree of Might, and they're just like, we need Turles back. We need to bring back. Look at the fireball. We need we need to leave that kid alone.
Future generation needs to know.
Yes, and I think that's admirable, but I don't. I think I'm more taken aback by the fact that Lord Slug is in the mix.
Yeah, Lord Slug is the other main character enemy so far. In the beta, you don't fight
Lord Slug.
You do. You fight him.
Okay.
I think their names are Mira and Toa, right?
Oh, yeah, that's Mira and Toa.
Yeah, that's those 2 bad guys. You don't fight them. You fight Turles once and you fight Slug once. But why are these 2 like? Why is it not like Frieza and Cell?
You know, at a certain point, you've just fought Frieza and Cell so much.
I guess.
Like, at a certain point, like, I've been playing those DBZ games. If you've played any DBZ game, there's a 50-50 shot you're about to fight Frieza and Cell.
That's true.
There's, like... It's just unavoidable. That's something you do. So, when you're looking for a villain... Frieza and Cell just don't have the punch that they used to, so you bring in dudes from like movies that people barely kind of I would say barely kind of remember. Sure, there's people like us that remember Tree of Might and remembered the Lord Slug movie, but there's got to be an entire generation of people who have never like actually seen them in any capacity.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
That's what I'm thinking, is that Dragon Ball Z has gone so long into its storied history, and they've continuously kept using Frieza and Cell to the point where you don't get the same reaction anymore. So they have to go in and use obscure people. This is all just a long-term plan to get Garlic Jr. back as the main villain. Bring back the Blackwater Mists. Bring back the Dead Zone. It's all
You think people are going to get confused when they download their pre-order Goku Black and then Turles is the main villain of the story?
Yeah.
You think people are going to wonder why Turles changed clothes?
They're gonna have to. I get there has to be like a some kind of mission in there where you have to fight Goku, Turles, Goku Black, a future Gohan, and a future Goten, and have an ultimate Goku off. Just just people who kind of look like Goku, and have only one can reign supreme.
Yeah, I can see it. It's weird. Like, I guess our original topic was that I don't know why Turles is popular, but goddamn if someone in Bandai doesn't really love him.
God damn it!
Oh
That
yeah, Ape
rebirth.
Turles too.
Ape Turles is also amazing.
He's amazing, and he's the best ape. Like, not even remotely close by miles. He's the best one.
Yeah, like no joke. He makes it look like it'd actually be fun to run an ape team now.
He never even went ape in the movie.
No, he didn't.
I think he's the only Great Ape card that never actually transformed. He is.
What?
Oh, Nappa too. Nappa never went ape.
No.
Or Raditz.
Oh,
What am I saying? Nappa and Raditz never went ape.
Yeah.
But all of Bardock's team went ape. Goku went ape. He has 2 ape cards, and he went ape more than one time. So that's good planning, Bandai.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Nappa, Raditz, and Turles are the only apes that never went ape, and Nappa and Raditz are like, Nappa sucks, Raditz is whatever, and Turles is like god incredible.
It just doesn't make any sense, but that's the way the game design people like it.
That's fine. They want to keep making Turles good. He's a Saiyan, so he's gonna be good anyway.
Yeah. I now kind of have like this idea of there being production meetings, and all the notes they get back from the main lead guy is like, I think you could make Turles better. Just the build is okay, not a lot of glitches, but I still feel a big nagging point for the balance is Turles is still not good enough. So you're gonna have to go back in, maybe make his defensive, make it so good that there's no way for you to actually beat it. Come back to me in a week after you've made.
Yeah, I feel like Turles is outside of the top 5, and I feel like we could do better. I have a higher standard for us.
Yes, we need to go to Turles standard.
The Turles standard?
We need to go to the Turles standard. Oh, well, that was the patented tangent that we needed to go on, but it's...
Yeah, we didn't have one yet.
We needed to come down to the bottom of this Turles situation.
That's one of Dragon Ball's greatest mysteries, is why Turles is so goddamn relevant in everything.
Oh yeah, one of the great mysteries. Alright, let's continue on for where we were.
Anyway, we were talking about how the reverse for the most part aren't optimal. And it kind of seems like that's the balance they want to go. Because they've just pretty much stopped releasing content that's not one of the two things. Like, they did the Fusion banner ever since the Dokkan Fest, Storm started. There was the Fusion banner, the Ape banner, the Heroes banner, and then the Fusion Rebirth banner. So, those are our regular stuff too, because we have Dokkan Fests constantly, and then we have the Rate Up Rebirth banners. So now our regular stuff that has the 3 guaranteed pulls on it, because you don't want regular SSR cards anymore, because why would you? Now they're even getting rebirths. So it seems like they're shifting the game away from SSRs in general. Those don't even matter anymore. It's about TURs and how many they can get out.
Yeah, at this point, that's kind of accurate. Whoa.
That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
Alright, anyway,
Yeah.
shit.
We got cut off.
Forget what I was saying.
So we're TUR focus, not moving away from everything else.
It just seems like they don't really want to keep doing SSRs, which I guess makes sense, because if you start releasing SSRs that are as good as TURs, then people are going to not pull for them.
Yep. They've probably figured this out.
Yeah. So, the content cycle seems to be Dokkan Fest, some banner with guaranteed shit in it, whether it be apes or some weird game crossovers at this point between fusions and heroes. Rebirth of old cards to make them mid-tier, decent cards with the 15% banners. Dokkan Fest. And that seems to be just the way we're going now. So these apes and these heroes banners, like I'm not gonna say that I guarantee it, obviously, but I fully expect the heroes banners cards to get rebirths at some point soon.
Yeah. It would seem so, because right now, I want to say probably everyone but that Majin Janemba is probably going to get one. Unless they want to go crazy, in which case they will give him one, and they will make... He's already been better than the Tur that inspired him, like Majin Buu. Like he's in every way, shape, and form, except for he doesn't have that link with Super Vegito. That's the only thing that he's missing. Otherwise, he does 2% less healing, and he actually has attack.
I still think they will, though. I don't think they care about balance at all.
You say that, but then they released Ocean and Shenron a fucking R for agility again.
Yeah, but they gave him shocking speed. They did it because if you can get people to chase an R, then you've done it. You know, you've made it.
They've officially found everyone's weakness, and that is anything that has shocking speed and conceal supers.
That is also AGL.
That is also AGL.
Yeah, and they're right.
Sadly enough, they are right.
I pulled for them. I know I did.
I mean, I wasn't... When I did my poll, I was thinking I would be really great if I got Oceanus. I never got him, but that's fine with me.
Oh, I did end up getting him, but he's pretty much all I got out of that. I got Sin as well in that poll, and I was like, well, great.
Yeah, that's great. But
yeah,
I definitely could see them getting rebirths at this point. It's
yeah, because Coenl had a good point, is that he feels like them getting rebirths was just an excuse to re-release the banner for the fusions, because the fusions aren't in regular pulls. You can't get them just on any banner, and neither are the heroes cards.
Yeah, Ape is the only thing that you can just get at any point.
Yeah, the only special banner that you can pull in any other banner is the apes. I assume Ape Turles is there as well. I'm sure people have gotten him since. I don't know if Turles is for some reason an ape banner specific, but I haven't looked into it.
Yeah, who knows?
So I feel like at the very least you'll see adult Gotenks. I think if there's any one they don't give a TOR to, it'll be Super Pycon.
Oh, but his rap game is so strong.
Either him or Boo. I feel like those are the ones that I just don't understand. Then again, if I were looking at the Fusions banner, I would not have picked out Pandel as one of the ones they're going to give a rebirth to. So maybe I'm completely wrong.
To be fair to Super Pecan, he does have shocking speed and works well with Omega.
Yeah, he does. I think he's one of the best subs to have on an STR team.
Yeah, so I could definitely see him getting a rebirth. Someone has to be left out, though. There's 4 of you, and I think that they're gonna keep it. They're gonna keep it canon and just make Super Saiyan Gotenks never have a any form of rebirth or Dokkan, because it would just unbalance the game.
See, I think they'll give him one because it's a Saiyan, and he's the only Saiyan in the banner, and you don't leave Saiyans out of your events.
While this is true, I still the things those devs said when they said why didn't Super Saiyan Gotenks Dokkan, give me pause.
Oh, that's true. That's true. We didn't want to be. We didn't want to. What do they say? We didn't want to have power creep.
We didn't want to have power creep, so we didn't Dokkan Super Saiyan Gotenks. So if they don't Dokkan that Super Saiyan Gotenks and the other 3 get Dokkans, it's because they don't want power creep, and they know that if they give. Instead, they're going to release another hero, Super Saiyan Gotenks, and he gets a rebirth.
But he's worse.
Yes, still. He's slightly worse, yeah.
He's going to be TOR, but he's not going to be as good.
Yes. I could definitely see them doing that.
Have you noticed that they seem to care about power creep for every color in the game other than blue?
I guess, yes. I don't know why. I don't understand.
Like, they keep releasing more and more stuff that makes AGL stupider and stupider. Like, why is the second LR blue?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
With shocking speed.
They did give it shocking speed.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I mean, it's Android 17 and 18, so, whatever. But, did they really need it? Were they the type that needed the LR buff right now?
maybe the other LRs are just so good that they needed to get the androids out now, so that when the agility, if this one came last, you would be kind of going like, so this is what we've been waiting for.
I
Okay,
guess. Mate, let's hope.
cool, cool. We get super chest powered 18 and her little brother, well, twin brother, whatever.
Because like everyone's saying that the next Dokkan Fest is going to be Vegeta, which I think makes sense.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not going to say it is or not because knowing Bandai, it's going to be like a rail or something at this point.
I'm still under the idea that if it's physical, it's probably Super Saiyan God.
I could see it.
Yeah, but we'll
Um,
see.
But assuming it is Vegeta, everyone keeps saying they're not going to awaken the blue Vegeta because AGL doesn't need the help. And my response to that is they don't give a shit.
This is true. And if
They
if
don't care.
he's physical, I can tell you one Super Saiyan Blue physical Vegeta that's gonna get a shaft, because they don't want to also give two of them. They do more than two of giving old cards a Dokkan, the entire game stops working apparently. That's the reason why my physical Super Saiyan God Goku didn't get a Dokkan.
Well, I think that was just because he came out like a week before the Dokkan Fest came out.
Oh yeah, he was too new. Is that
Yeah.
why? That's why they didn't do it, because he was too new. It's not like
Well-
he came out. He needed 2 weeks on him.
Well, I don't think they're going to awaken the tech version either for Vegeta.
Probably. It's only.
But people are saying that they're going to end up picking... Obviously, the physical one is going to Dokkan because he has the nuke leader. And that's the whole reason that people think it's going to be him. So he's got to be one. And they're saying that they're probably going to do the STR one because it goes with the AGL Goku. But the AGL Vegeta doesn't have a counterpart.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And if they don't Dokkan the Vegeta or the AGL Vegeta or the STR Vegeta, they have doomed that card to be like irrelevant forever.
It's now or never.
Yeah, they're both bad. So unless they're going to rebirth an individual one sometime way down the line, it's go time. Like,
Yeah.
the card's going to suck otherwise. So I think they're just going to do all three. I think they're going to do all of them except for the tech one.
It'd be a nice dream. Definitely would. Be.
And then knowing Bandai, the AGL one's going to be the best one.
Yeah, chances are just like some mistake happens and he's the best one.
Yeah, it's crazy to me how AGL keeps getting good cards. But anyway, the point that I was trying to make before we went off on this is a second tangent now, but
Yeah, Coenl leaves and we just have tangent after tangent after
yeah, we're
tangent.
going now. But is that it seems like they have their high rate banners for card, and I mean they can still screw you, but 15% is crazy good, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
And this is for cards that are gonna come in at like the number 10 overall spot for their color. Like, no, you really don't want to be stuck using these if you're trying to get the optimal team. But yes, they're great for you if you don't have it.
Yeah.
And then the Dokkan Fests are your god-awful 7%, throw hundreds of dollars and pray to Jesus or whatever god you believe in that you get what you want. But they're the best ones. And they're the pieces that you're slowly filling those rebirth spots in with.
Yeah.
And that kind of seems to be where we are with stuff now.
Yeah, that seems to be what that's the current, like, just build of the game. We are probably, I don't know what's to come in the future, but at the same time, no one really does at this point.
Yeah,
But
it's all guesswork, but
yeah, until the 2-year anniversary, in which case I think they're gonna do something similar than when we had the last anniversary, and the game will change in another direction. But for
Probably.
now, this is the direction we are going in. So just kind of ride it out, see where it goes.
yeah, that's all you can do.
Yeah, that's all we can do. Man, and so that's it. Is that it for this week?
I think we're good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably good, because everyone around me inside my house is currently deciding to go crazy as we end this. There's a cat at my door, and if you could probably hear it, there's a loud woman yelling in Spanish, which is my mother.
I can't hear it, but
I'll hear it in the recording. So I say we call it, this has been another modcast. This is actually probably the first legit modcast in a while. Not
In
to
a bit, yeah.
not to say the thing I did with my friends or the things I did with Penta, Coley, and Toast were not official modcasts. It's just this is the first time we probably have gone in depth in the game in a while.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
But thanks everybody for tuning in,
Yeah. Thanks everyone.
and we will see you next time.
Hopefully more stuff comes out.
Down the sky.